Welcome to The Other Opinion. This is the place where we really don't shy away from those perspectives that maybe feel a bit scary or aren't talked about much. Today, we're doing one of our deep dives looking at something pretty exciting if you're into films. We're focusing on the major movies still coming out in the last part of 2025. Think August through December. We're calling it 2025 Cinematic Leftovers. Fall and winter releases. That's great. So our goal here is basically to give you a shortcut. Yeah, get you well informed about these films everyone's going to be talking about. We've dug into this pretty hefty 5,000-word article called 2025 Cinematic Leftovers, Fall and Winter Releases, and mixed in a bunch of production notes, behind-the-scenes stuff, to pull out the really important bits. We'll talk about why they're even called leftovers, look at the director's vision, some technical stuff like aspect ratios, how the screen shape changes things, and where you should probably watch them for the best effect. Stick around. It's going to be good. And hey, while you're listening, go ahead and hit like on this deep dive. Drop your own other opinions in the comments. We love reading those. And definitely subscribe to The Other Opinions so you don't miss our next one. Oh, and share it with your friends.
Yeah, and that term leftovers is interesting, right? Because these aren't like small films, not at all. If you look at the bigger picture, these are actually major releases, big ones. They got delayed mostly because of the strikes back in 2023, 2024, some lingering COVID stuff, and honestly, VFX just keeps getting more complex and takes longer. So they're basically the films Hollywood held back, thinking, okay, these are worth the wait. What we're seeing is this really eclectic mix, sequels, reboots, horror, musicals, huge adventures. It kind of shows Hollywood's big push into making things feel really immersive.
Okay, let's dive into some specifics then. August looks like it's kicking things off with some laughs and action. First up, August 1st, we have The Naked Gun. This is a reboot directed by Akiva Schaffer. You probably know him from Pop Star or Brooklyn Nine-Nine and the Lonely Island stuff, obviously.
Right, yeah.
His comedy style seems perfect for this kind of classic slapstick revival. What are you thinking about his take?
Well, Schaefer's got that knack for, like, parody and absurd humor, but also that meta comedy thing he does so well. It could be a great fit. They're using a standard 2.39.1 widescreen aspect ratio, which is really good for slapstick. You need that wide frame for the sight gags, the timing, lets the comedy breathe.
Makes sense. So where should people watch it?
Honestly, a standard theater like an AMC or Regal, preferably with a crowd. Communal laughter is a huge part of the fun with comedies like this. Get those recliners if you can.
Yeah, you feed off the audience energy.
Exactly. Liam Neeson's playing Frank Drebin, which is interesting casting.
Definitely a change from his usual roles.
Right, but the buzz is his deadpan delivery really works against his action hero image. Pamela Anderson's in it too. It's short, like 90 minutes. Projections are around $150 million domestic. Nostalgia's definitely helping there.
It'll be on Paramount Plus later, but yeah, theater first for the laugh seems right.
For sure. Rewatch at home, experience it first with others.
All right, moving on. August 8th gives us Freakier Friday. Nisha Ganatra is directing this sequel. Her work includes Late Night, some Mindy Project episodes. She's known for female-led stories, lots of heart and humor. Seems like a good choice.
Yeah, definitely, especially with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan coming back.
And they're swapping bodies again, but now it involves grandkids and, like, social media stuff.
Modern twists. And what's interesting here is the aspect ratio. It's 1.85.1, flatter, more like TV.
Why that choice, do you think?
It's better for focusing on faces, expressions, those intimate family moments.
Right.
You don't need sweeping landscapes. It keeps the focus tight on the characters.
Okay, gotcha. So viewing.
Standard multiplex works great. Maybe a matinee at Cinemark if you're taking the family. It'll hit Disney Plus pretty quickly afterwards. A bright screen helps catch all those facial expressions.
And Ganatra brings her own perspective, too.
Yeah, she often weaves in themes of empowerment, draws a bit on her background. Here, it sounds like exploring aging, generational differences. Should be fun. Expected to do well, maybe $200 million plus. Oh, and Chad Michael Murray apparently has a cameo.
Oh, nice. Okay, let's switch gears a bit. August 15th, Nobody 2. I'm pretty hyped to this one.
Oh, yeah.
Timo Tjojanto is directing. He's the Indonesian director known for stuff like The Night Comes for Us, really intense action, sometimes mixed with horror.
Visceral is the word for his stuff.
Totally. So Bob Odenkirk is back as Hutch Mansell, the unassuming dad who's secretly a badass. Now he's up against bigger threats, global conspiracy kind of thing.
And Tjojanto is the perfect director to escalate that.
Yeah.
His skill is in that raw, high-octane fight choreography.
So what about the visuals here? Aspect ratio.
They're going wide again, 2.39.1.
Oh.
Essential for this kind of action. It lets the camera move dynamically, captures the full sweep of a punch or a chase, really enhances the brutality,
Right. So best viewing experience. This feels like a premium format thing.
Absolutely. Dolby Cinema, if you can find it, the sound is incredible. You feel those impacts. AMC locations usually have good Dolby setups. Big screen, big sound. It just amplifies everything Giganto is doing.
Theaters only at first.
Yep, then it'll land on Peacock eventually.
Hmm.
Giganto's definitely adding more gore and intensity than the first one. It elevates that whole everyman hero idea. It's about 105 minutes.
Solid length.
Should build nicely on the first film's cult status. Projections are maybe $100 million plus. And Odenkirk really trained hard again. Adds that layer of authenticity.
Cool. Okay, let's head into September. Things get a bit darker. Horror and drama. We should mention Weapons, even though it's technically late August, the buzz will carry into September.
Yeah, definitely one to watch. Directed by Zach Kreger.
From Barbarian, that was such a surprise hit.
Huge breakout. And his background in comedy seems to give his horror scripts this clever, unexpected structure.
So Weapons is about interconnected horror stories in a small town. Disappearances, supernatural stuff.
Exactly. Sounds very intriguing. For this, the aspect ratio is 2.35.1, just slightly less wide than scope. It can create this tense, almost claustrophobic feeling. Good for building suspense in confined spaces.
Like Barbarian did so well.
Precisely. As for viewing, IMAX could make the jump scares bigger, sure, but standard theaters are fine. Since it's A24, look for it in places like Alamo Drafthouse. They often have great sound and atmosphere for these kinds of films. It'll end up on Max later.
Kreger's sophomore film. High expectations. Josh Brolin's in it too.
Yep. Expected to be a solid indie hit, maybe $50 million. People are comparing it to Black Mirror, that kind of mind-bending narrative that keeps you guessing.
Sounds great. Okay, next up, September 5th, The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Last rites. The end of the Warren saga.
Seems like it. Michael Chaves is directing again. He did The Nun and another Conjuring film. He knows this universe, works closely with James Wan's style, focusing on atmosphere.
And Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are back as Ed and Lorraine facing the ultimate evil.
Classic. They're using the wide 2.39.1 ratio again. Good for those eerie establishing shots, big possession scenes, gives it scale.
Viewing recommendation.
Definitely Dolby Atmos for the sound design. Regal RPX theaters are often good for this. You want that immersive audio where every little sound adds to the tension. Theaters only first, then HBO Max. And yeah, see it in the darkest room possible.
Maximize the scares.
That's the goal. Chaves is good at building that slow burn tension. As the franchise finale, this could easily hit $300 million. They apparently use real locations, too, which adds another layer of creepiness.
Interesting. Now, for something completely different later in September, The Bride on the 26th. This one sounds fascinating.
It really does. Maggie Gyllenhaal directing her second feature after The Lost Daughter, which got Oscar nods.
And she's known for focusing on complex female characters. So a modern take on Frankenstein. Jessie Buckley's the bride. Christian Bale is the monster.
Yeah, incredible cast. And the aspect ratio choice is really telling. 1.66.1. It's a taller frame, often seen in European art house films.
Why use that?
It creates this intimacy, pulls you right into the character psychology. It's less about grand vistas, more about internal states. Perfect for a deep psychological story.
So where to see this one?
Probably art house cinemas, like Landmark. It'll stream on Netflix, too. The visuals are likely subtle, so a high-contrast screen would be ideal to catch all the nuances.
And Gyllenhaal's vision.
Sounds very feminist, introspective, really reimagining the source material, flipping expected gender roles. Definitely one to watch for awards season.
Okay, October rolls in. We've got a big franchise spinoff and a major biopic. First, October 3rd, Ballerina.
The John Wick spinoff.
Right. Directed by Len Wiseman, who did the Underworld movies. He knows stylized action. Ana de Armas is the assassin ballerina. It got delayed, right? So it feels like a nice late-year action treat.
Yeah, it fits well here. And Wiseman's style should mesh nicely with the Wick aesthetic. They're using 2.39.1 scope.
For the action, I assume.
Absolutely. Perfect for those balletic fight sequences they're promising. Wiseman loves his stylized slow motion, and that wide frame really lets the choreography shine.
Best way to watch.
Gotta be IMAX for this one. Really appreciate the scale and detail of the fights. AMC IMAX is usually a good bet. Theaters first, then it'll head to Peacock. Wiseman's darker visual style fits, and expectations are high, maybe $200 million plus. It expands the Wick world, which fans are eager for.
Definitely. Then, October 17th, we get Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic.
Huge anticipation for this one.
Directed by Antoine Fuqua Training Day, The Equalizer. He handles intense drama well, and it stars Jafar Jackson, MJ's nephew, as Michael. It covers his whole life, rise, controversies.
It's a complex story to tackle. Fuqua's gritty style might bring a certain depth to it, trying to, humanize Jackson, show the triumphs and the tragedies.
Aspect ratio.
Wide again, 2.39.1. Makes sense, especially for recreating those massive concert scenes. You want that scale.
So IMAX again for the music.
Yeah, definitely the best bet for the concert sequences. Get that immersive feeling. It's a theatrical release. Streaming plans aren't confirmed yet. It'll be controversial, no doubt, but it's going to be a major draw.
For sure. Okay, November. Music and animation take over. November 21st, Wicked. For good. This is part 2, right?
Yep. The conclusion, directed by John M. Chu,
who did Crazy Rich Asians in the Heights. He's got such a flair for spectacle and emotion. Started with dance videos, actually.
Right, you can see that energy in his work. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are back as Elphaba and Glinda.
And the aspect ratio is interesting here.
Very. It's 1.90.1, specifically in IMAX, so it expands vertically.
Taller. Why?
For those big moments. Think flying scenes, grand vistas of Oz. It fills more of your vision, makes it feel huge, more immersive. The standard version will be 2.39.1.
So IMAX is the way to go.
Oh, absolutely. For the visuals and the sound, it's designed for that full immersion. It's universal, so it'll end up on Peacock later. Chu's style is just perfect for this vibrant, energetic, should easily clear $500 million. It wraps up the story. And the choreography is meant to feel like airborne. Really leans into its Broadway origins, but makes it cinematic.
Sounds incredible. Then just before Thanksgiving, November 26th, Disney gives us Moana 2.
Didn't see the sequel coming so soon, but here we are.
Directed by a team of Disney animation veterans, David Derrick Jr., Jason Hand, Dana LeDoux Miller. They've worked on huge hits like Frozen's Zootopia.
Solid hands. Moana goes on a new voyage with Maui, exploring more Pacific mythology.
What about the look?
Standard animation widescreen, 2.39.1. Perfect for showcasing those gorgeous ocean landscapes, the scale of her journey.
Viewing recommendations.
3D could be fun here, enhance the animation depth, or IMAX if available. It'll hit Disney Plus fairly quickly after the theatrical run, as usual.
And they're being careful with the cultural aspects.
Seems like a major focus, yeah. The directors consulted heavily with Polynesian cultural experts, which is crucial for authenticity and respect. Big family hit potential, maybe $600 million plus.
Great. Okay, wrapping up the year in December. Huge releases. December 19th, Avatar. Fire and Ash.
The big one, James Cameron, of course.
Pioneer of 3D, Avatar, Titanic. He's always pushing tech. What's interesting is his fascination with the ocean, but now we're getting a fire tribe.
Yeah, the Ash people. It'll be fascinating to see how he visualizes that element within Pandora. And technically, he's pushing things again.
How so?
HFR IMAX. High frame rate, it makes the motion incredibly smooth, reduces blur, especially in fast action scenes, makes the 3D even more immersive, more real.
So IMAX 3D is basically mandatory.
Pretty much, yeah. That's how Cameron intends for you to see it. It also uses that expanded 1.9.1 ratio in IMAX alongside the standard 2.39.1. It's theaters only for a long time, probably.
Billion-dollar gross seems inevitable.
Almost guaranteed. He keeps innovating with motion capture. HFR is a big step. And those environmental themes will still be central, just maybe explored through a different lens with the fire element.
Can't wait for that one. And then, literally on Christmas Day, December 25th, we get Nosferatu.
What a Christmas present. Robert Eggers directing.
The Witch, the Lighthouse. His historical detail is just meticulous. And he dives deep into folklore.
He really does. Bill Skarsgård is playing Count Orlok. Lily Rose Depp is Ellen Hutter.
And the look of this one, aspect ratio.
This is super interesting. It's 1.33.1, almost square.
Like old silent films.
Exactly. It's a deliberate choice to evoke that vintage claustrophobic feel of the original 1922 classic he's remaking.
Wow.
Really sets a specific, unsettling mood.
Wow, best place to see it.
Dolby Cinema would be fantastic for the atmosphere. You want those deep blacks, the immersive sound to really build the dread. It's a Focus Features release, so it'll likely hit streaming later.
And Eggers' approach to horror.
It's all about authenticity and creeping dread, not cheap scares. He apparently used a lot of practical makeup effects for Skarsgård's vampire, which sounds amazing and terrifying. Definitely potential for Oscar buzz, especially for craft categories.
Okay, wow. That's quite a lineup for the end of 2025. So, stepping back from the individual films, what are the big takeaways here? Any trends emerging from these leftovers?
Well, one thing that really stands out is how deliberately directors are using aspect ratios now. It's not just, picking wide or standard, it's a specific tool.
Right, like you said, wide for the big action and nobody two or ballerina.
Exactly. Or the taller IMAX ratio for the spectacle in Wicked.
Yeah.
And then you have the more artistic constrained choices like Gyllenhaal's 1.66.1 for The Bride or Eggers' 1.33.1 for Nosferatu to create intimacy or a specific mood.
So understanding that choice helps you appreciate the film more.
Absolutely. It tells you where the director wants you to focus, what kind of feeling they're going for. It's not just technical detail, it's part of the storytelling.
And tied into that is the push for premium formats, right? IMAX, Dolby.
Definitely. We saw IMAX viewership grow significantly, something like 20% this year. Directors are clearly designing these films for the big screen, for that immersive experience you just can't replicate at home. It's a way to combat streaming fatigue, make the cinema trip feel special.
Yeah, give people a reason to leave the house. And we know those formats boost ticket sales, too, by like 30%. It makes business sense.
It does. And finally, just look at the range of directors here. You've got indie voices like Kreger and Gyllenhaal making really distinct films right alongside blockbuster masters like Cameron and Chu.
Yeah, it's not just one type of film.
Not at all. And their backgrounds really inform their style. Like Chu coming from dance videos to musicals, or Chijanto bringing that Indonesian action intensity. It makes for a really diverse and exciting slate.
So for you listening, why should you care about all this? These details, aspect ratios, director choices, premium formats, they aren't just nerdy film talk.
Right. They're like keys unlocking how the filmmaker wants you to feel the movie.
Knowing why something looks or sounds a certain way elevates the whole experience. You're not just watching, you're engaging with the director's vision, with the art itself. So wrapping this up, it's pretty clear these 2025 leftovers are actually a feast, incredible variety, amazing visual potential.
Yeah, it really underscores why going to the theater, especially for films designed for specific formats, is still so important. You get the full impact.
It's how the creators meant for you to see it.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening to mull over. What film from this list really jumps out at you? And now thinking about these behind-the-scenes choices, the aspect ratio, the director's specific vision, how might that change how you plan to watch it or what you look for when you do?
That's a perfect question to end on. Food for thought. Okay, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Please remember to hit like if you found this useful. Comment with your own other opinions. Seriously, which of these are you most excited for? Share this with fellow film fans and subscribe to The Other Opinion so you catch all our future analyses. We'll see you next time. Oh, and just a quick heads up, this deep dive was put together with some assistance from AI tools, aiming to bring you comprehensive information efficiently. Like any info source, there might be inaccuracies, so always feel free to do your own digging too.